State Senator Ken Horn, and I represent Frankenmuth and all of Saginaw County, and I got my start here in Frankenmuth, here at the Bavarian Inn.
And I am Veronica Horn. I'm Ken's wife. He's my husband. And I'm actually now the president of the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce, so I represent Saginaw County as well, and got my start at Bavarian Inn, where I met Ken. He was a waiter and I was a waitress.
Hi, I'm Patty Warden. This is my husband Eric, and we met at Bavarian Inn and married almost 29 years ago.
Okay, the question is, explain your story and how the two of you met. So it depends on which one of us you ask, but I'm going to defer to Ken and let him tell his version of how we met.
Well, how is that even a version? So we ended up meeting here in the kitchen. It was shift change. Veronica was just new here at the Bavarian Inn, and she was having some troubles with her tables trying to keep up. And so we were at the soup station, and the kitchen was set up just a little bit different behind the scenes. The soup station was just a little bit closer to the door in the Bavarian room. And so she was setting up the noodles. I was pouring the broth and sent her off.
He thought I was cute.
Yeah, well, she was pretty cute, the dirndl, and of course, I think she was very impressed with my lederhosen, and so it was a story of love from at first sight. I think right at the soup line, and to this day, and the story gets better every time Dorothy Senator tells it.
Well, this is an interesting story, how Eric and I met at Bavarian Inn, but he could be the one to tell
I
it.
can tell the story, right? So Mrs. Wardo happens to be an identical twin. So the very first day on the job, it was roughly about 3 weeks into it. I'm up at the steam table, and I walk up there and I see this very attractive young lady that I would like to know. I start having a conversation, and then I think I'm making some progress, and I leave. I have to get my chicken ready. You gotta get your four full out there to the dining room. So I do that, and I come back. Her identical twin Becky is now standing at the steam table, and I walk up and I say, what would you like to? And she looks at me like, who are you? It's like, how can that happen? And so I go away just totally demoralized. And so we go home, and my best buddy, Jeff Lynch, who was waiting tables with me, so it's like 2 or 3 days later, and Jeff comes up to me and says, Eric, there's 2 of them! And they're identical! No! So that's how it all started, right? So I had to go find the right one. It happened to be Patty, not Becky. So that was the start of our journey into where we are 28 years later, almost 29 now.
Well, when I was of age to become a waitress or of age to find a job, I came here to Frankenmuth and I inquired at the Fisher's Hotel, which was then run by the Fisher family. And sure enough, Mrs. Fisher hired me, and I became a waitress here with Fisher's for about 3 years. But the first year, then when I started, it wasn't real busy, but yet it was, you would get about 2 days a week, sometimes a little bit more. And then the time came when I was here longer, and you made many friends. You had many friends. There were girlfriends, and also there were a lot of busboys that worked here at Fisher's the same time I worked here. And through all these relationship with all the girls and the busboys, why you would after you were done working, you would kind of go out somewhere together and kind of make an evening of the rest. And that's where I then met Tiny. He was from Zanders, and of course our group of waitresses were here from Fisher's, and we would get together after work in the evening, say on a Saturday night, or after work on Sunday, and that's how I met him then. He was with a group from Zanders, and I was with a group from Fisher's.